Today, we are continuing our talk about cookout season as we are right in the heart of it right now. Here's my conversation with my good friend and comedian, Brandon Collins. Now, if somebody's going to a black cookout for the first time, what are a couple things that they should remember, and how does it change depending on the ethnicity?
If it's a Spanish person, I'd say bring some pernil, which is a roasted pork, so that people are like, oh, like people who aren't experienced with that, they're like, oh, this is dope. It's a good compliment to the barbecue that's already going to be made. If you are a black person that's never been to a black barbecue, uh, make sure you season whatever food you bring. That's what I would say. If you're like me, a black kid that grew up in the suburbs, you maybe didn't know about adobo or seasoned salt until you got to New York. So that's important to consider as well.
See, I'm glad you brought that up, Brandon, because black people who grew up in the suburbs understand there's certain things that you don't do unsolicited around other black people, okay? I don't freestyle, okay? I don't just up and freestyle around other black people unsolicited. I have to be asked and like really forced to do it. I don't play basketball. Look, if it's a basketball game going on, okay, if you need one, I might help you out. But don't expect me to be out here running first trying to grab the ball like I'm going to do something. Third, I ain't bringing no food. I know I ain't bringing no food.
A word?
All right. No. I'll bring all your napkins, okay? I'll bring all your plates. I'll bring you some off-brand soda. You want some Dr. Thunder? I ain't bringing no type of food because I know my limitations. I know how y'all get down.
I mean, I can throw down in the kitchen, so that was a bit surprising, but everything else I connected with. Like, I'm terrible at basketball. I made an executive here in LA laugh out loud when I told him about the time that I tried to freestyle in high school, and I was so nervous. I ended up just spitting the first 10 bars of Notorious Thugs with Biggie. I'm just like, I got so nervous.
That's hilarious. All the kids that I went to St. Albans with didn't know I was trash until they went to college. And they actually met other black people and were like, oh, I didn't think that rhymed, but I just let him get away with it. I had nothing to compare it to. Now, our producer is Turkish, and he doesn't really understand the kind of cookout culture. So if you would describe American cookout culture for him briefly, how would you break it down?
It's going to be bigger than you could possibly imagine, especially depending on the location. I would say there's going to be a lot of music, right? There's going to be a lot of music, probably a lot of Beyonce. There's going to be some electric slide happening, Cupid Shuffle. And there's going to be some good food, good community. There might be a fight or two, depending on what kind of liquor is being served at this barbecue. But that's between them, right? You don't have to interject yourself in that because you probably don't know what it's about anyway, and it's probably a little petty thing that you don't need to worry yourself about.
There's going to be some Frankie Beverly and Mays, and there's definitely going to be some spades. There's going to be some spades and some dominoes. And yes, you are correct. There is unlicensed boxing that typically will break out at some point in everybody's barbecue. You don't have to respond, but just get a good viewpoint. And feel free to take out your camera. And
it always happens around the middle of the barbecue too. So it's like people acknowledge it and like, oh wow, that was crazy. And then they just continue enjoying the barbecue. And then towards the end, people are like, oh, remember that fight?
You've never seen relatives so calm while two of the other relatives are coming to blows within their general vicinity as you will at a cookout.
Especially if it's a family barbecue. You know there's gonna be some cousins that don't like each other. This is the first time they're seeing each other in a while, and they're going to have the beef, and the rest of the family's going to be like, they at it again.
Ah, that's right. If you are so lucky to have family members square up at your cookout this 4th of July weekend, consider it a blessing. Also, Aaliyah, one reminder, she reminded me to hit people to the kick and the slap being very significant. Make sure you remember those when you're doing the electric slide. You can find Brandon at social media at Brandon Collins, so make sure you hit him up on Twitter. And coming up,